Hello everyone. Hello, good evening. As I stated, I will be here at 7 today. Mm, Again, folks, I told all of you I have a new laptop I'm trying to figure out, and I'm still gonna get with you tonight that all of us need to pay for this. Okay, I spend the time I talk. I'm still expecting the birthday present because we have to pay for this laptop together. But let's move on to tonight. Tonight, we will be talking about remnant. The remnant, meaning the remaining or remain of something. Okay. Of something. The three things I like to talk about tonight. And I'm going to start with this conversation. I'm going to start with this conversation with Richard Kuhn. All right. Please bear with me, folks. Hopefully, this is going to go ahead and play. No presentation. I'm going to go to screen. I'm going to go here. I need you to listen for yourself.
We need to have our own speaker. So today, I'm the regime speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Ireland, 100% supporting His Excellency President Remnant. No speaker from the opposition will promote us. So we, as Canadians, sat and saw the difficult general arrest of proceeding.
To use the word any ruling party. We are the government party. No. What have I said? We control the army, we control the police, we control everything. And we will utilize that authority that other people have utilized in the past in our country. Am I hearing you? Yeah.
Y'all listen, Liberian people, y'all listen. I want y'all to listen. I'm very intentional with this.
We need to have our own speaker. So today, I'm the regime speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Ireland, 100% supporting His Excellency President Remnant. No speaker from the opposition will promote us. So we, as Canadians, sat and saw the difficult general arrest of proceeding.
To use the word any ruling party. We are the government party. No. What have I said? We control the army, we control the police, we control everything. And we will utilize that authority that other people have utilized in the past in our country. Am I hearing you? Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop here. Like we're a funny country. Like we're a very funny country. What did I just say? Remnant. The remain or remaining. Hey, Yalio, share the video. I'm trying to understand our mindset, if at all, we're people who think, or we're people who not only do we think that think critically, okay, common sense, analyze stuff if it makes sense, if it's the right direction. So that was Kaifale. That was Kaifale after the attack on Yeke and Mr. Cummings in the southeast area. And when the leader was going around, he made that what do you call it? That particular assessment. He made that. What did he say? We are the government party. We're not saying we are the government. We are the government party. We control the army. We control the police. We control everything. This is CDC yesterday. No, y'all will get mad. But you know what? We cannot build Liberia based on CDC, UP, and that P. We cannot create our own tribe within the tribe, which is the political party. The only way Liberia can force forward, the only way Liberia can go and breathe beyond where Liberia is, to move away from the past, is for Liberians to start thinking about Liberia. Don't think about yourself. You know, a lot of people, I was talking to a sister of mine the other day, and she said, "You mean, yeah, nothing was changing in Liberia?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "These people that we were looking up to breed a change. And the moment they get their job, they shut up. Or most of them, they're quiet because they're waiting to get a job. That's what they're waiting for." Okay. 1 second, guys. Yes, eh? Nyla is coming. Okay, she can come. Let her. I didn't see no call for them. You know, Nyla can come whenever. Nyla has a room here. Nyla lives here. So she can come. All right. Okay, bye. And her grandpa here. That's my grandbaby. Her mom dropping her off. Yeah. Nyla, everybody got their own space here. You know, everybody. The grown one, the old one, the young one, the grandchildren, all of them have their own space. So they can just come. So as I was saying, and I said to her, there will be few Dr. Martin Luther King. There will be few Gandhi. Okay? There will be few Mandela. There will be few Malcolm X, Sojourner Truth. There will be few what do you call it? Maxine. Reclaiming my time. Here is why. When people have advocated, when people have worked all of their lives, thinking they will see the end of it, okay? And then they're getting old and there's nothing left. They're giving all of their life. Some people end up compromising. We saw that during the CDC-led government. People went and they shut up. People went and literally sold everything that they have had. Okay, challenging the things that they spoken against yesterday. We're seeing that today. And everybody cannot be. I can tell to you, when I decide I want a job for the Liberian people, I will go on the ground. I will ask them for the vote because I want to be their voice. You see, in the United States, the municipals, they're voted for the people. That's why a governor can challenge the president of the United States because the people elect the governor. The people elect the city mayor. The governor cannot just cannot even dictate to the city mayor. And one of the reasons is, in fact, before decisions are made, the plan are set in motion almost for the next year agenda. Just like the way your plan with the budget in Liberia. Okay. The citizen needs to know, because whatever decision you make is going to impact the citizen. And as the budget or the plan unfold, whatever the agenda is, that agenda needs to come to the people and discuss that agenda with the people and see if it's aligned with them. If they have questions, then you socialize that agenda, meaning you pass it on, you educate them so they know what's happening. Like today, I saw there was a breakdown going on, I think that down the which of the street. And the representative there, Mr. Don, came and said he just came from out of town and the people didn't know they're breaking down their building. And I see mom and whatever his name is, and the group of them saying, "Oh, for a few people business, we're not going to wait for you. We'll break it down." And and people cannot be running all over the place. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is the people hire you to work for them. When you're making decisions on their behalf, when you plan and you need to execute that plan needs to come before the people. Liberia is a democracy. It's a representative democracy. Okay? Talk to the people. I don't care how stupid you think we are. Get their input. Listen, in the next 6 months, give them enough time. We will need you to relocate. or next year. This is the agenda. But you got to make allowance for them to be able to move. That's respect. Listen, if the road downtown Lawrenceville, because that's the road we used to go to work, that's the road we used to go to the market, that's the road we use. If that road gonna have a work order on it, and it's not an emergency, we'll know more than 6 months in advance. They will send out, in fact, they will put a billboard, signboard out there to tell you on so and so date that road will be closed. And that road, this is the detour where you need to go, meaning the other place, the other road you need to take. That's how it works. In true democracy, that's how it works. So you're breaking that. Listen, ain't nobody saying you should not change, you should not make upgrades. But the people need to be aware. But let's come here. I wanted to play the video today for Yeke Koluba. I told you people before when the executive mansion were burned, I told you the people who had all to gain was the people in power, the people who have access to the budget, the people who have the ability to gain, who have the opportunity, who are in charge. Most of you didn't want to hear that. Okay? Here is why. Y'all listen to Kuhn. Kuhn said the government speaker will not help to further the president's agenda, but the regime speaker will help to further the president's agenda. Now let's ask this question. Is the president agenda not in favor of the people? Is the president agenda not for the Liberian people, to advance the Liberian people? Because the only way I see that the president agenda will be sabotaged if the president agenda is not in favor of the people. As far as I'm concerned, for the onset, some of what really matter for Nani Kofa. He says, I hope you're feeling better. I need to check on you. All right? That's the only time. If the president agenda does not coincide with the people's advancement, if the president agenda does not align with the people advancement, then you will need somebody who agrees with the president. But if the president agenda is aligned with the people advancement and in the interest of the people, why do you need a coup d'etat? Why would you need a coup d'etat? Because what is going on is a coup d'etat. And I will explain to you why I believe it is the majority bloc that burned down the mansion, the what do you call it, the Capitol building now. And I will tell you my reason why. Okay, if the Capitol building fire was not caused by natural disaster from the debris that were in there, from neglect, okay, from neglect, then the president does not need Richard Kuhn to further his agenda if the agenda is the people agenda. Now, what I want to speak to is what happened today. And not just today. We saw, first and foremost, when Funani Kofa were not there and had trouble with the president, Funani Kofa, the group, that same group with Kuhn, they busted into they busted into the Capitol building to access the the speaker office so they can remove him. And people got there and closed it. Y'all saw it. Well, you see, the problem with you or Liberians, with all of us, The problem with all of us is situational ethics. All right. I hear people say, yak at this. And I keep telling to you, I've dealt with yak for 7 years straight. And I know plenty of people in Liberia. I have family in government. Yaka is the one most consistent person that is. Yeke have refused to be on the phone during CDC time. Even when they were harassing him, they have offered him tens of thousands, sometimes over $100,000. He put me on the phone. Yes, I could not speak at work to say, "Awama, I want you to know." And I know the voices that he has spoken to. And some of your leaders, I have gone to Washington and I've seen their records. There is a man called Philip Isa Randolph who started the civil rights movement in America called Brotherhood of the Sleeping Car before Dr. Martin Luther King. When you hear that I have a speech, I have a dream, I have a dream. That man did the organizing and invited Martin Luther King after he had graduated from Philadelphia and returned to the South. At the time in the South, we have something called the Jim Crow law. Peter, you can call. Okay, Peter, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you're clear and loud. Please call your name, where you're calling from, and state your church. And I have a few questions for you before you go.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, first of all, I think people are starting to know the voice now as Peter. But,
Yes.
So a couple of things I want to. First of all, thanks for again taking your time out your life to do the show. This is really, and we need to keep reminding people this is about our children, and there are people who are willing to fight, or there are people who are willing to sit there and die. There's a difference between people in bondage and people as slaves.
Mm-hmm.
People in bondage, if first opportunity they get, they will fight to free themselves.
Right.
Slaves are okay with being here.
Yes.
They just give up. Okay? We cannot, if you want to be a slave, that's your prerogative. But just know you've been a slave. People in bondage continue to fight until they free themselves or until they find an escape route. A lot of times, Liberians, a lot of us are going to the mentality of slavery, of slaves. That is an ugly, ugly place to be. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
The rule of law matters.
It does. It does. It does. It does.
Structure matters.
Yes.
When you see people on social media or on these talk shows making light of the fact that they broke into the speaker's office and
yes,
evicted him,
yes,
or the so-called speaker can just remove the car and tell people break his car.
Yep.
That is anarchy.
Yes.
That is tyranny.
Yes.
Here's why that matters. You are creating the environment of instability. And when instability happens now, Yosedi, here's why I'm mentioning it. When instability happens, you cannot be saying, "Oh, you people talk about everyone's side."
Yeah.
You have to speak up when people are disrespecting and disobeying the law.
Yes.
The law has to be the law. These people didn't write the law. People much, much smarter than them wrote the Constitution. That keeps the peace. It is not a luxury document. It is a necessity that we follow these rules, or else you have what we had in Liberia, which is chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So chaos. Number one, and I'm gonna come to that man saying he's a regime speaker.
Yep.
And our people need to not be slaves. We need to speak. Or you okay with the violence that could come from this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So one of our constitutional protections is civil disobedience.
Civil disobedience, yes.
When you go and sit and someone says, the rule says don't sit over here, and you say, nope, you're not serving the people of my people, my family, you think I'm an animal, so I'm going to sit in the seat. That's civil disobedience. That's a form of protest. it is allowable under the law.
The law. Yep. Yep.
It is permissible and protected activity under the law that you can civilly disobey an order that people that you feel like is illegal as long as you're not hurting anyone.
Yes.
They can remove you if they want, but that's a form of protest.
Yep.
That's one of the pillars of a democracy that we get to bring our grievances to the world. And the government cannot stop it. So when people talk about, oh, they brought high water tank and remove these people, you are breaking the law. You are
They are. They are. They are.
You are creating an environment for a civil war. If people cannot come and speak their grievances, you are creating the only people that you're gonna get to a bully like that are slaves. People in bondage will fight you back. And this is how the burning starts. Yeke Calabar, let's assume that he was not supposed to park over there. Why did he park there? He parked there because he said, this man is not a speaker, and I'm going to protest the fact he's not a speaker.
No, he's not a speaker.
The same reason he disrupts sessions when that man is speaking. That is a form of protest.
Protest. They don't get it. They don't get it.
That is protected under the law, stupid people. Oops. And you guys will say, who stole Yeke money? And I see people writing stuff on social media. You're creating an environment for a war that we've already went through. We've seen this before. People say, oh, why Doe had to kill those people? Because of people like you, that's why he had to kill them. He felt like he had no other choice. If I let these people go, they're going to come back and try to kill me. We overthrew them. So if you don't want people having that mentality, because some of us do have that mentality, we would do what we have to. Or we can all follow the rules. So we either follow the rules or we're not following the rules. Then everything goes. Okay? You can't do what you do. You can't break into his office. You cannot break his property.
They did. They did. They did.
Number two, Yacindy.
They did.
And this is a problem. Number two, for that cool man to come out. First of all, he's not the speaker.
Yeah, but he said it. He said it.
I'm a regime speaker. You are breaking down the structure of our government. We have separation of power. What has to happen is, if you're going to be speaking for the president and signing with him, the Liberian people have to elect you to be that. The power is within the hands of the people. You do not create a coup to go and take over and then speak for the president, the executive. So what you're saying is, I am going to make the executive and the legislative one branch of government.
Correct.
You have just broken down our structure.
Our structure. Yeah.
There's a reason why we have separation of powers, because it is called checks and balance. When you don't have checks and balance, what happens to that happens. What am I talking about? When the speaker feels emboldened by the executive that I can break this man's car. Now, mind you, you can have hundreds, thousands of people who love him.
Yeah.
He can also order people to say, go down there and burn that man's car. Then all of a sudden, Yeke is the bad guy.
Yep.
Look at him, he's violent. He's violent.
Yep.
No one's looking at the fact that you guys started destroying the rules and structure of our country. And people sat there and just watched it and made fun of it. And said, oh, look at this, throwing Yeke out of
Oh, yeah. I took some screenshots today. They did. They did. Many of them.
Look what they're doing. They're dragging him out. Okay, you can drag him out. But then how about he do something else? How about people start getting shot? Oh, is that good enough to get your attention now? Oh, you guys think bullying is okay? Bullying is either okay or it's not. The rule of law is important or it's not. I'm just speaking to Liberians. If we don't respect the rule of law, we're going to get chaos, and we're going to get and we're going to have anarchy. We're going to have anarchy. Everybody is not.
Peter, please explain to our people, not everyone, what's an anarchy?
Anarchy is living in a state of nature. That means when a gazelle It's the lion to the gazelle because the lion is called social Darwinism,
Yeah.
right? It's called Darwinism. But I'll get to social Darwinism in a second. In the state of nature, the the strongest
Some
survive.
life. Yeah.
That's just Darwinism. Because I have muscle and I'm stronger than Yasendi, so I
Mm-hmm.
get to take a purse that you work hard for.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I can. I get to break your car because I can. I get to eat you for lunch as a gazelle because I'm the lion. That's anarchy. Anything goes. The next stronger, the bigger person goes. I was going to use another word, the bigger something. Okay? Whoever is bigger on the food chains get to eat who's below them.
Yeah.
And nobody complains. And that's just how it is. It's anarchy. No government, no structure, no rights.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Civil War was. Let's rape all our beautiful women that rejected us during the time because of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rape them. Let's cut babies out of our neighbors'
Stomach.
because we don't like
We
their
don't
tribe.
like them. Yep.
And now we have a gun so we can do that. So
Right.
now I have a gavel so I can tell people breaking this man's car. That's anarchy. You guys, we have a powder keg going on. We have a cold civil war going on in Liberia.
Yep.
The only thing is there's no sparks because there are no guns involved. It's been going on in Liberia for a long time. We have a police culture. You understand me? This is part of the reason why I don't back down when people trying to bully. I literally would take it to your house. This needs to stop. This is what brought the chaos to our country and the killing and displacement of all of our people and the pain and the suffering. You have to live the rules and structure and laws. You cannot watch these people break down that structure and act like there's no consequences. There are dire consequences to it. So I wanted to say that. So Richard Kuhn is literally putting an executive, and he admits to it. That
Yeah.
you're destroying the Constitution that you didn't write.
Yeah.
You're not intelligent enough to write something that intelligent.
No.
And now you say you think that these rules are luxury when they're necessities. I'm the regime speaker. What are you saying, sir? What are you saying? You're putting our children's lives in a peril
Mm-hmm.
because what you're doing creates chaos. It destroys the country, the fabric of everything that makes peace. And you're proudly saying it, and there are these SEALs in the back clapping for him.
Oh yeah.
They know nothing.
Oh yeah.
And all
Oh
they're
yes.
going to do is be a victim later on and play victim when they're the perpetrators of the destruction. They are bullies. You cannot allow bullies to do what they're doing. And now speaking makes you a slave. What can I do? Oh, it's okay. Then later on, don't say nothing. Don't step in and try to stop it. Don't. Because you sat there when this environment was being created. That's what I want to say, yesterday. I know you said you had a question for me, but this is what's going on in Liberia. Okay, we don't respect structure and rules. This is why our country is chaotic. This is why we're dirt poor. This is why the Lebanese, the Chinese, the Indian, every dollar we remit to the country is re-remitted out of our country with our natural resources, with our gold, with our iron ores. Okay, everything that we have is getting taken out of our country because we have people who are unpatriotic and they don't understand the values of those rules that were put together. It's like you have a car and you put 2 bolts on the tire and it requires 5. You're like, oh, this is tight enough. I can put my family in the no. They put 5 for a reason. Put all 5 bolts on that tire before you drive that car. No, these people are putting 2 or putting 1. Oh, it's on. Let's go.
Right.
That's recipe for problems.
Oh yeah.
That's recipe for problems.
Oh yes. I'm not sure if you saw when I played this. All right. This is precisely what was happening under the CDC-led government. Okay. If you remember, just before we went to election, Akaras Gray said his friend, the former finance minister, was booed at on the LU campus, and they friend played song with Boo at on LU campus. At Carol's grade carry bunch of hooligans on the campus beat up beat up Liberian students on campus. Okay. And we are saying the same thing. We watched in the last government where we are, as we are watched, they didn't say any word, where they remove a certain justice. All right. We watched the death of educated, trained experts killed back to back, and the president will show up and say, "Oh, they were in a phone, they were in a car, meeting. In fact, they're this, they're that." I said the other day about the burning of the Capitol building. When the president came up and said, "Off the back without investigation, that's not his area," okay, and said, "Oh, it was the hooligan that burned," and the next thing, the police chief is coming to indict. They got our children in jail still. Okay, they're still in jail. And Peter, before you go, something I wanted to talk about, because and I think this is a straw man of fallacies. I think these people are trying to divert the chaos that is going on in Liberia. I see people talking about Musa's son is 40 years old. It's like somebody calling your dad to say Peter did something, so Peter need to go. This young man have been in jail for almost 8 months. No trial, no preliminary hearing, and they said he was bailed out, and it's a non-billable. He had not been found guilty. Okay, you say he had drugs, and let me say this: Waka's son, your older son, has a club. In front of the club, I never been in the club, but when I came from Liberia, I called Lofa Julia Peter and told him they sell drugs right there, right there. Have anybody been there to arrest them? Okay, who bringing the drugs into the country? Why is the LDEA not working? So, Peter, I wanted you to speak to that, because that's the new thing with UP people. Okay, instead of running our country, instead of leaving our money, creating jobs, making sure there's security in place, they're vandalizing the country, they're breaking down the laws, they're harassing people, they're unaliving people left and right, the between the police and the EPS. And folks, let me tell you something. This information are being collected. So I want you to come to that. That's again where you're talking about anarchy. Okay, you're targeting people. Peter.
Yeah. So yeah. Here's the issue with what you just said. All of it. So you touch on we as government. Same thing happened. Whenever this was George Washington that said this, right? I'm sorry, James Madison that said this. He said, and here, guys, understand why I'm mentioning this country. This country is literally what we copy and pasted the Constitution.
Yep.
A Liberian Constitution from. We copied 99.99% of the Constitution. Thing in America is there. There's a reason they came up with that. Don't forget, these people came out of. If there is, you know how we talk about civil war in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
These people have wars after wars after wars. You just don't hear about it. They had a big civil war, okay, but they had a bunch of rebellion in their country, and this is why they structured the Constitution like they did. When they created this country, there was rebellions after rebellions.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Rebellion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Right? Them fighting against the government, them killing each other over and over. That's why they, as a matter of fact, this is the only reason they created what they call a federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like we have to pool our resources together to have a strong enough army to put down rebellions.
Yes.
That's the only reason they have a federal government. Okay,
yep.
Here's what I'm saying. The rules that were put together was put together because without them, there was chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So when Akira's grade goes on the campus of LU and says, "Boo me now, or I'm gonna take people because I can," everybody, whether you're CDCN, whether you're NEN, you need to repudiate that. Guys, we either have a democracy or we don't. In a democracy, the power is within the hand of people. You cannot sit there and abdicate your responsibility. You have the buttons to push. And if you don't push those buttons, you are responsible for what happened in the country. So say Musa Belli's son is in jail because of drug offenses. Okay? Yes, I see that a little differently. I think that law is a bad law that they're not billable because of drug offenses. Now, is drugs destroying our country? Yes, it is. But is that good enough law with a system that's not working to keep someone in jail?
Yeah.
Unprecedented amount of time, unspecified amount of time that you don't know when they're going to come out? No, it's not. But it's what you do with that. You work to change the law then. You work to change the law. But you can't work to change the law in the justice system that let out Gloria Musu Scott and say, oh, she was only in jail because CDC put her in jail. Listen, people. You have to understand something. The Supreme Court, there's this thing called, in law, that's called, it's skipping my mind now, original jurisdictions. Came back to me. Here's what original jurisdiction is. Who gets to hear a case first?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what that has to do with Gloria Musu Scott, what it has to do with rule of law. Original jurisdiction just means who gets to hear a case, who gets to hear a drug case. Well, in this country that we're in, they have drug courts. Who gets to hear a family dispute? Family court. Right? Who gets to hear murder? District courts. Okay. After a regional jurisdiction, like in Liberia, the district court gets to hear murder cases. When you appeal a conviction from a district court, it has to be on constitutional lines. You cannot present new evidence to the Supreme Court and say, well, did they consider that? Or you have to show a constitutional violation for them to overturn
the original, of
original jurisdiction. Gloria Musu Scott is saying, oh, the evidence was not strong enough. That's what she said. That's not a constitutional issue. If those jury of her peers convicted her, if you want to take that to the Supreme Court, then you have to show that how rights were violated constitutionally. Now, we have new evidence to show that the evidence was not strong enough. That's not a constitutional issue. So letting her out, this is why you can't have monkey brains run the country. So now you have people who talk too much and don't know what they're talking about, and what they do creates chaos. No, you cannot have a Curtis Gray go on LU's campus and you don't repudiate that. You cannot have someone out for unbillable crime. You cannot have drugs being sold across from where a club is being run by the president's son. Okay, so what I'm saying, y'all, is nobody is following the rules. Then everything goes. Then who are you to hold my family accountable for something they did wrong when you don't hold your family accountable?
Correct.
Cindy, this is what I'm saying. Some of us don't play that. You're not going to play selective justice. The reason why they have laws, because there are people like me. I'm just saying, I will follow the rules if we all follow the rules. If we're not following the rules, I'm following none of the rules. It's not just me. There are a bunch of people out there. People are looking at Yekin and saying, oh, look at his lawmaker. And these idiots are not saying that. What that man is protesting is the fact that you're doing extrajudicial things. So then I don't respect you because you don't respect the law. That's a protest. That's a form of protest. Say whatever you want for Prophet Key. Him cussing, as uncouth as it may be to some people, it's entertaining to others. I see that as a form, especially during George return, it was a form of protest. It's a form of one-man protest. Let us all follow the law. Everybody. We're either a country that is governed by the rule of law, or we are not. We have to make a decision. We cannot be playing games with the lives of our people, with the rules and the structure of what makes Liberia Liberia. We can't. And dismissing people and saying, who are you? Oh, because you're important, so your son gets out of jail. Or you get to stay in jail because your mom is not possible. Okay, this is how terrorism happens. This is when chaos happens. This is the exact recipe for civil war. So nothing has changed. And we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful. Because what we are doing in that country is recipe for disaster. Even I'm watching this phone tonight. They're making light of things that's happening. Okay, maybe that's their style, but I'm like, this is serious. This is dire. That what's going on in the country. Okay, we need to examine what's going on. You cannot break into Yeka's car.
Nope.
Yeka can park over there. That's a form of protest. Let him protest. For a man to say, then I'm going to break into the car, you're unfit to be a speaker of our house. This is not your house. You didn't create these structures. You didn't write that constitution. You're just playing a role, and you're bad at the role, and you need to be removed. This is where I say, right? Dr. Francine said something tonight that kind of upset me. She said the police officer need to think about getting more training so you don't take illegal orders. The police officers need to think about getting police officers that make $150 a month need to get more training. How about you as a citizen speak up and hold the lawmakers, the people who really have the power, accountable? How about you hold them accountable? What do you do to hold people accountable? Police officers, they're going to disobey an order so they can get fired, and now they're $150. They can't even take that to their family. You think they're going to disobey a Speaker of the House when we're letting people out of jail like that murderess Laura Musu Scott because she knows the president, the so-called president?
And Peter, I'm not sure if you heard about the Chinese guy that beat up a Liberian guy. Not beat up, like, yeah, burn him, fell him to a dog, and gave them $5,000 and let him out. And I don't see them talking about it. I don't see them talking about it.
Because they're not nationalists. They're not nationalists. And they're making fun of, Cummings talk to that. I didn't listen to Cummings talk. That's in the criminal, right? And here's the thing. When the men in the country and the women in the countries don't speak up and they sit there and they're under the voice of a person like Stanton, who's making, I love Cummings. I really do. I love Cummings. I feel that Cummings needs his love. Cummings is a multi-millionaire from his brain, dude. You stole money. That's how we can all run scam. We can all do credit card scam and be millionaires. But we also get a chance to go to federal prison like you are now. Okay? So Cummings don't need your love. The point I'm making is that it's not even ready to attack you. You're making light of the fact that somebody's telling you, I understand structure. This is how corporations work. This is how bureaucracy must work. This is what we must do. And you're like, yeah. I voted for the puppet. I love the puppet. I love boycott. You love boycott. Boycott is bad for our country. And you're telling me you love them as if your family and your pain is better than our family's pain. Okay, you literally influence the people by picking the wrong person to run our country. Let me say this one last thing. If you know anything about bees and a colony of bees, here's what happens, Yasendi. A very interesting thing happened. First of all, no disrespect to the women. Bees, after the men met with the bees, guess what happened when the winter time is coming? They kick out all the men. So they have this structure. All the men, all the male bees got to go. They kill them all, or they kick them out, and they got to die. Only women, worker bees remain in there, and the queen. Whenever you see a bees colony that attacks people and they're killing each other and fighting with each other, you know how you stop that? You change it, Yasendi?
No.
You switch off the queen. Listen to what I just said. Go research it. You switch the queen, the leader, the person that they're all looking up to. You switch her. If the colony remains aggressive, then you destroy the colony. But the first step you do is you switch out the queen. If there's an aggressive queen, the colony is disrupted. This is what happens with every leadership. You go to a school, you go to a household when people are fighting and killing each other, and it's prolonged, it's persistent. Look at the leaders, the people to look up to. Yep. The chaos that we are seeing in Liberia is because you picked a divisive person who has no charisma, who has no leadership ability. He's not grandpa. He's a disruptor. He doesn't have it. He's not a leader. This is where this chaos is coming from. It's a reflection of his leadership abilities. Not only does he not have any expertise, he doesn't have any leadership skills. We picked the wrong person. We cannot make light of that. Our country is in a bad place right now. And we need to be careful. This is how Liberia was. And when the guns were introduced, we saw what happened.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Thank you. You have a good night. I'm about to get off myself. Folks, you heard that. Okay, I was here for 1 hour and 1 hour. I got 5 more minutes and I will call it a day. Okay. I will try to play this video with Dr. Emmanuel Dolo about jailing people in Liberia. All right. And I will talk about that. The last I checked, Bwaka Song, Teng Teng, Tung Tung, whatever his name is, will take him out of the country and sent to Lebanon, if he's not in Sierra Leone, and sent to Lebanon for recovery. Okay? Liberian children are still on drugs. And they were part of what? Lofa Defense Force and all of the things that they created in Liberia, allegedly. Okay? So they have a responsibility to the people. You have put no mechanism in place, okay, to change Liberia. Okay, no mechanism in place to rehabilitate our children that were forced to fight war, that were forced to take drugs so they can be invisible in killing people or unaliving people. You have not put anything in place. But I will play this video one more time while I do this. This is Richard Kuhn, and he's telling you who he is. He's telling you we don't need 3 branches of government. We only need one. Now let's go ahead and play this. Give me 1 second. I will play this for you all again. Where is he?
So today, I'm a redeemed people. The speaker of the Republic of Nigeria is supporting His Excellent President Remnant. Most people in the opposition are promote us. So we, as Europeans, sat and saw the difficult the general arrest or proceeding.
To use the word any ruling party. We are the government party. What have I said? We control the army, we control the police, we control everything. And we will utilize that authority that other people have utilized in the past in our country. Am I hearing you? Yeah.
You now see me all in the general county trying to push the president agenda. The red agenda must be fulfilled. Now we say that the opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, I'm a redeemed speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Nigeria is supporting His Excellent President Remnant. Most people in the opposition are promote us. So we, as Europeans, sat and saw the difficult the general arrest or proceeding.
To use the word any ruling party. We are the government party. What have I said? We control the army, we control the police, we control everything. And we will utilize that authority that other people have utilized in the past in our country. Am I hearing you? Yeah.
You now see me all in the general county.
So I'm not sure if that was playing. Hopefully you saw it, but I'm gonna go ahead and go. West side here is yesterday. That was Kai Fale. That was Kai Fale, a former rebel general. Yeah, Peter is sharp. Peter is very sharp. Okay. Yelling yesterday, we are the government party. We are no longer ruling party. They will do anything that want. They control everything. That's what he said. Liberian people look at them and voted them out. I know Akara's great on spoon now. All of a sudden, he's a renewed man. Jesus, he met Jesus on the road to Damascus. And speaking for the people out of a sudden, the very one who actually helped to destroy we are government, one of them. The same one where when the children protested in his district, he grabbed them and put them in jail and said he would free them when he was ready. The one who knew no bounds, he was the Lord and the gospel. That's the same thing that happening. A Liberian young man was on a live a couple of days ago in Kinjoy. I don't see UP people writing about it. The last time I checked, there was $100 million drugs that came into the country. And they say there were not enough evidence, so they free the people. Back to back, then there were another $100 million worth of drugs that came again. And the people left. Oh, now Musabelete's son. Now Musabelete's son. Braka's son's been selling drugs in that place forever. Go in front of his building. He know he's there because the kids are out there. I've been there, see it. As I said to you all the last time, who stand to gain if the Capitol building burned and it's not natural disaster? Who stand to gain? Richard Kuhn. Based on his behavior, a lack of respect for the rule of law, his desperation, I can easily surmise because they stand to gain. They're supposed to gain from the burning of the Capitol, because that's where, okay, that's where it's where they're going to make budget for. Remember, Kufa is not in charge of the budget. The Capitol is burned. The next day, they already have a budget in to repair the Capitol. Who was in our power? So let's talk. Okay? The remnant. We're talking about the remnant. The remnant of the road travel, the remnant of the war, the remnant of the bad leadership from the inception of Liberia, the remnant of, Peter said something earlier today, not to read on anybody parade, okay? Today they were able to move those 13 men and rebury them. But you know why when coup take place, people don't keep people alive? Because the people who are in power at the time that you're overthrowing, they have relationship. That means they have resources. Besides the financial resources, you leave them, okay? They're a threat to you and the nation. I'm looking to say to Liberian government, to the UP-led government, you have not built no new prison camp. You are not increased or fix the prison that do exist. Children come from there more distraught than they were when they went there. You have prison that is overcrowded. Okay, you don't have enough good health care. You don't feel you prisoner. You just take somebody child and throw them in jail. I've been saying this, but let me play this. Okay, we're talking about the remnant, the remain of the bad behavior and the greedy people. I'm gonna play this. I want you to listen. This is Dr. This is Dr. Emmanuel Dolo, my own brother, who had an opportunity, okay, to have a conversation with us when I was producing on Focus on Liberia. Yes, Focus on Liberia. When you go to the history, it will establish my name. The idea came up, Mrs. Abadolo, myself, Dennis Jar, when I was leaving the stage as the president of the Liberian Association of Metropolitan Atlanta to stay in contact with the people. That's how I came up with that idea. We're going to produce it. I started a couple of times. I visited Liberia, reported from there. That was the essence. But let me come back here and show you guys something. I want you all to see here, okay? What Dr. And Dr. Dolo said about the prison, what they were doing to people, children in that prison since 2018, under the UP-led government at the time. So y'all listen up here. You don't just tell people children and put them there. I'm the one who playing this video. All right? Y'all will get it. I want you to listen keenly, Liberian people. Listen. Listen with all you have. Okay. Listen, you all. Let me see if it would play. No. Why is it not playing?
Got a master's degree to be, say, a communicator. And now you were appointed as a communications manager in a particular entity, or a social scientist who was sent to deal with youth. You're going to have to create youth programming from scratch. I'll give you an example. There was a person on here who asked, what did I do or what did I accomplish as National Youth Policy Advisor to the President? Let me give you some examples. Some of the rude awakenings that we had was I went into the prison to look at how many young kids below 17 or even below 18
putting people children in prison
to find out why and what could be done for them. At the time we got to the prison, we had lots and lots of 17-year-olds who've been riding motorcycles for people within, some of them in government, some outside of government, some of them private sector folks who were operating commercial motorcycles. These kids were being engaged in contracts when they were not at the age, the appropriate age to engage in contract. So when you give a person a job to drive your motorcycle, your commercial motorcycle, and at night when they're driving and somebody knocks them out and the motorcycle gets stolen, the next day you grab these young people and you put them in jail.
Yep.
They go to jail and they stay there for 6, 7, 8 months. And some of them get sodomized in prison.
Yeah, under the UP government.
Most of them there. Now, the system, as we saw, it was not ready to be able to provide for the needs of those young people. First, for the treatment of the sodomization that they had experienced. So a vicious cycle of sodomization began. Those kids were in jail for a long time. Our court system could not facilitate their movement through the court system fast enough, the judicial system fast enough for them to get appropriate judgment. Also,
that appropriate judgment within a time, given time.
Who had taken them to the prisons or to the police system. Some of them were no longer around to address their needs. So there were systems inadequacy and there was structural inadequacy to deal with their needs. There was also a job program that we created. Went around all 15 counties and created a job program.
You had a scientific question, you would go to a scientist, and I proceed.
The one that I call straw man fallacies. They show up looking for attention. Let me go ahead and say, I support my nation. Patriotism is supporting your country at all times and supporting a government when it deserves it. In the last 12 months, I have not had a government that deserves my support. If they do right, I will speak to that. If they do wrong, I will speak to that. No, I'm not desperate. Okay. I'm a professional. I live for what I earn. Okay. And I live within my means. Let me continue. Unlike the people that you paid $3 million a year, 12 years, and they could not sustain themselves in 4 years. Okay, have to go around begging people to survive, take loans to survive. No, I'm not going to be diverted anywhere else. Yes, I just played Dr. Dolo, who is a PhD in psychology. Okay, who worked and rewrite the social policy for Liberia under the new regime after the war, during supposed to have been the Reconstruction era. You heard the story that he was telling us. Okay. Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. So you people are out here clapping and singing song, just like the sedition did yesterday. When some of us were telling we are the people are leading you in the wrong direction. Liberian people love you, but they don't love you to the point that they're all going to die for you. You were not listening. Oh, Mr. President, you got this. That was Kaif Fale talking. We are we no longer call the ruling party. We are the government party. We control the police. We control the army. We control everybody. That's what they did. But the same people that empowered them, the same people that voted for them, those very people came back and voted them out. And to you young people, I always tell the young people that supports me or that follow me, choose your battle. Most Liberian young people who just coming and embracing social media. Some of them, you see this, my phone right here, the phone number. I've had it since 1994. When some of you did not even know what phone is or what Commog is. All right. My email address that I had it since about 94, 95. My Hotmail account before you all start getting Google account. Y'all get on Facebook, and I tell you, young people, stay with the issue. Start trying to kiss people backside so they can buy you minute. Because once you post where you post, you do not get to take it down. You can delete it. Somebody have a shot, and that's what they call it, information highway. The moment you put on the highway, bill is gone. It can always be retrieved. Most of you don't get that. It can always be retrieved. I see people running back and forth with their Elon Musk business, and Emre, I see Elon Musk now block you. Bill get blocked me doing the Ebola too. And we used to be friends because my brother used to contract and subcontract with him, had some grand stuff with him. But the moment I started asking questions, they blocked me. So let me explain to you. It's like Kobo, right? Kobo is an old original programming language. Those days when you still have language where we did not have graphical user interface. He's coming out and telling story and it's catching up with him. But they have the media. And I veer off a little bit to tell you something. I see you're running back. The last time when Bwaka took over, they took his drug hair son and took him to Lebanon for rehabilitation. Okay. The last time at the airport, $100 million worth of drug was seized. What happened? They let the people go. The last time I checked, right after that $100 million, the drug again, another $100 million came to the airport. Now, let me explain to you here. Richard Kuhn is not a speaker. He himself said it in his own voice. If you have the, what you call it, the government speaker will not work with the president. But here is my question to you. If the president agenda is to impact the people, if it's to elevate the people, why would anybody go against it? Why would he need another speaker? As I stated before, and I'm going to say this, I was going to get off now, but I'm going to speak for a few minutes, and then I'm going to get off. Okay? what would be, if you were looking for a criminal, what would be the motive? Okay. What's the opportunity? What was the means? Richard Kuhn had the means, just as he had people in Sunday that night to go take over the office. Richard Kuhn had opportunity. Okay. Richard Kuhn had the power. Okay. Now, I have passed the Capitol building many times in the last couple of years. Okay. Many times at night coming from restaurant, there were always security with machine guns walking around. So y'all tell me the whole Liberian capital, the Capitol building of the Republic of Liberia, the night that they beat up people for protesting, the night that they throw people in jail, all of a sudden, all the security was giving day off to go home and sleep. And you want us to believe it. The only person that will believe that in their mind of mine, either you're stuck on stupid, okay? Either you're stuck on stupid, or you're stuck on tribe, that your tribe does not allow you to think, that you're thinking like a crawfish where your brain in the backside of you, that people have to pull it out. It's out of that. Or you are so party fanatic to the point that your sense of logic have completely disappeared. Now, folks, Peter, Emmerich, I will see you Thursday evening. Let's have a good show Thursday evening. Let's expand on this. Next month, on the second week in March, we will be on the air back home. I believe we will be on Bluebird, will be on Truth FN. I need to send Musa the information that he required. So we are here at least 2 days, so we will be able to educate our people. We will be emphatic. We will let them understand where we are, and they will get out of the doldrum that they're in. But let me say this to all of you, and I will say there will no host bar. I told Yeke during the election. I told Yeke, I said the man who have been his friend for years, who have given him money during his campaign, who have gone to the hospital and pay a hospital bill, who house he has slept in, who he has come and asked during their presidency and say, put your name on here, so organization, because of your prestige, because of your character, can come and help our country. If that man can turn around, who, when he came together, he went to him and said, oh, man, my man, right now I'm tired. I will not be running. I want to leave Liberia in a better hand, and I trust you. Join us. That's created. We can only win together. Then he comes and says, he does not have money. That man take his money, or we took our money and put it together. Held them together, created an organization, hire and elected people on that organization back on our money, and turn around and betray that friend and sat in court honor oath, put a hand up in the air and lie. In America, he will be in jail. In any country of law, he will be in jail. Put a hand on the Bible and lie on an oath. For me to see myself to support that person, no. You know, it's good that I grew up here. In America, if you live in America, whoever you are, what democracy is, one thing I tell people though, the greatness of America lies not in her enlightenment, but her ability to repair herself. America is built strong enough, right, to absorb the shock coming from the White House. America is built, have gone to war, civil war, mini war, okay? The war within, and they have come out, and every time they came out stronger. We will pass this one. Liberia does not have that shock observer. Liberia does not have a structure. It does not have people who are strong enough to stand up for her. Those of you who listen to Mr. Cummings press conference today, y'all please try to find out. I'd like to know what he said, so I will speak to it. Okay. Today I was talking about, and Peter, you teach this. I talked about dress code this month, and I'm talking about placing for us to Ferguson. Okay. Go to court, try the court system. You got to start from somewhere, even if you don't win. But that's a story for another day. Nope. I go to the ballot box in the United States to vote. I have options. If you have 5 presidential candidates on the ballots, there's still a write-in ballot place for me. If I decide I don't want to vote for any of the presidential candidates, I can do a write-in where I suggest. That's how ideas are formed. So I'm going to say this to all of you. Good night. Peter, don't waste your time with bonehead and attention seeker. Please don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. I'm sitting here in my house. I'm sitting right here. Where I'm sitting right here is my home office. So I'm gonna end with this video where the dude is telling us he is actually. I'm gonna play the video with Yeke Koluba today, where the vendor lost his property. They broke the law, okay? Intentionally broke the law because they are the government party. They are the government party, like they said. And not only that, a guy, Liberia police on alive this boy this week. I don't see y'all talking about it. I don't see y'all talking about it. Okay. So let me play the video where Rachel Kuhn gave authority, authorized people to break in somebody's car. That vandalizing somebody's car, that's illegal. That's criminal. That's criminal. Y'all remember, what's the guy name? Buffer Chamber ran into a woman that was pregnant. She ended up losing her child when a woman went to the police station and filed. He went there, took the paper, tore it up. What Buffer Chamber now? Buffer Chamber hit a man, a woman, broke the children's leg. But let me go here. Let me play this. All right. Peter, don't waste your time. You're just giving that person clout. They're looking for attention. Don't give it to them. It's a waste of time. Don't. I'm going to talk. Yeah, I'm going to talk to logical people. Okay. Richard Kuhn broke into somebody's property today. Okay, give me 1 second. I will play this and then I will call it a night. I gotta go make a post. I ate at the life of a teacher in America. Life of a teacher in America, the United States.
Journalist here at the grounds of the Capitol is assigned with he's assigned with and now they are sporting using the drill, that they are using the drill to sport, and by they want to enter in the car. Damaging honorable, you get put back. Damaging the vehicle representation. Damaging honorable, you get put back. It is an honor to give back honorable Richard Moore. The people of the majority club has given his orders and this has to be removed forcefully. Order that issue. Yes. Damaging. Damaging the vehicle. That would be a spot. What be a spot, man? What is continue harassment on the that's a business. I'm gonna keep my job as a journalist. He's hitting on us. Using force for the enter. Representing Yaka Kolba people have been force for the enter. Remove. Force for the enter into the majority of last speaker Richard number 2. Force for the enter into. You can see the police officer is forcing to the car to stop the car.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is so sad. And that dude is not honorable. Calling representative. Let me come here, Peter. There were people that were more qualified, okay, that could do a better job, that would have done a better job than the we who under his regime was anarchy, okay, chaos, killing, rape, looting, where people were afraid to walk the streets. Then you brought in Bouaka 42 years of looting the nation and had nothing. He said he was living on loan. We have people like Simeon Freeman, a consummate businessman. You have Alexander Cummings, a world-renowned businessman who have proven records, who have helped Liberia on many levels. From 89, supporting Africa AIDS help to helping to save Pillsbury, to building an African leadership into Coca-Cola for Nigeria, okay, to the South Sahara, okay, and adding more product line that's still making money today. Who came to Liberia with a jet plane when your people were dying? Liberia people were dying when your lawmakers, your policy makers were running away, going to Nigeria, going places. Early have to pass law. Once you leave, you're not coming back. You will not have a job. He was coming to Liberia. He's one of those people who helped because his name was on the board for Liberia because he was a trusted name for BWR to get help. The electricity at BWR, he put it there. His own money. His own money. Not Liberian people money. He worked for Liberian people for BWR. Every university in Liberia has a program, a science program, a STEM program that he has scholarship for. Because he's not braggadocious. He's not all over the place screaming. He built the first STEM education quality school in Liberia, right there on Dupo Road. He have a low skill training program in what do you call it? What a place around Iron Gate area, Broadville. When you're Jama, Mr. Coming need to open company. The people who be looting, you're giving Rachel Kim, Fanatic Kofa were making what? They said 1 million. These people in a broke, poor country make more money then the country with trillions of dollars budget. Oh yeah, that's why they're telling you. If that were common citizens, they would beat them, they would tie them or and kill them, Carolina. But the speaker, that what I'm telling you, that dude was the one who sent those people to bring down the Capitol. Because there's no way that you can tell me tonight that the Capitol did not have security when they always have security. Where did the security go? Especially the night that they have protests, where they beat up Liberian citizens and took them to jail. But they didn't have security at the Capitol, and you want me to believe that? That craziness somewhere. So to all of you, thank you for coming here. The platform not for we are, the platform not for Bwaka, the platform not to praise we are or to praise Bwaka. We are was not even better either. Some of our people put all their time in we are, and he disappointed them. Taking 45 days out to go party, running from Ghana to Sierra Leone to Europe to EU and all over the place. What did he do? Borrowing money left and right. People dying left and right. So what has changed? You can't tell like we are supposed to be better than Bwaka. Some of us are rough on Bwaka because he's supposed to have 42 years experience. At least we are told us. You know what's going on. He's not a politician. That's what we are told us. He's a sports person. That the Liberian people who told him or come because they want something from him. That's what he told us. So go sleep. Good night, everyone. Let me go. I got work to post. Good night. Again, this was a Tuesday night, Second Thought Africa. We will be here Thursday night. Last Thursday, guys, I apologize. It was the eve of my birthday. So the kids had dinner date for mommy and daddy. I didn't want to go. And Alyssa was having a trip. So I was forced to go because I didn't want to be, it was cold in Georgia. I didn't want to be out in that cold. And then I didn't want to go eat fried food, whatever food it was. I wanted my own GB. That's why I wanted GB, real GB, high GB, but it is what it is. That said, let me play my last video. We are the government party. Can't tell me that CDC is any different than you, how you call it? What kind of nonsense is that? I know better. I know better. I know so much better. Yeah. Yeah, Liberian people here. Breaking in people places. Breaking in. Breaking in. Yeah. Breaking in. I see them people throwing stuff in the office. They throwing stuff for the speaker office and they're running around. Can you imagine? People going to the speaker office and taking stuff and walking away. Here, folks. Here. All right. Here we go. Let me play this again. If you come on my post and disrespect me, you will not see my post again. Take your rudeness to your mother and your father. Take your craziness to your pa, if you got one, or your mom who did not train you. Take it to them. I'm not the one. Take your stupidness to your mom or to your pa. Don't bring it here. Don't come here calling anybody a liar. All right? Do not come on my platform calling anybody a liar. Take your nonsense to your parents. Okay? Maybe they didn't train you. Take it to them. All right? Take your craziness to them. Come on my post writing craziness. You can block this low life. Calling somebody a liar. Go take that nonsense to your mind and your pa. Let me play this. All of that will be deleted.
Opposition speaker will not push away the vendor. We need to have our own speaker. So today I'm a regime speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Great Britain, supporting His Excellency President Remnant. Most people from the opposition will promote us. So we are for being sat and saw the difficult the general arrest or proceeding.
When they use the word anybody ruling party, we are the government party. No. What have I said? We control the army, we control the police, we control everything. And we will utilize that authority that other people have utilized in the past in our country. How are you?
Now there you go. What's the difference? They're not the same two people. Is that not the same thing they did yesterday? Is that not the same thing they did yesterday? Oh, we are the government party. We control everything. That's exactly what Richard Kuhn is saying. So you're not any different. And you're not trying to convince anybody who want an airhead, a party little boy who does not want to grow up. We all love His space is on the football field, not in a mansion anywhere. I'm done. All right, here it is. Folks, says Hannah, thank you. Welcome, guys. Good night. It hurting you. Go ahead, write plenty. Peter, don't waste your time. It hurting him. Well, you lost your job because I want the government job you in my part they can do. You lost it? You lost your job. That way you now under my post? Is that it? I never worked for government, Mama. I never worked for government. My parents work for government, but guess what? Yeah, I am. Okay? We will continue to speak. That's it. Everybody, good night. I got some work to go post. I got to finish my work. So I'm going to start a new tomorrow. Good night. Thursday night, we are live here on the same time. Next month, the second week in March, we will be live. It's all 15 candidates. So you can follow us there and bring your empty hair with you or talking trash with you. We don't reason together by being antagonistic. We reason together, you bring your thought, you put on the floor. I can support who I want. That is my choice. You can support that's your problem. I can support who I want. That's my prerogative. That's how I see it. Okay. Good night, everyone.